This is a short little video over a neat little tool in 3ds Max called Preview Animation. And this can be used to quickly create an animation, or this can be used to quickly create a little render to see what our animation is doing. Now we can do the renderer, which we could either hit F10 to do, which we're not going to. Okay. In order to bring this up, what we can do is several things. We can go into Tools, and we can come down to Preview, grab Viewport, and let's say Create Preview Animation. And if we see just to the right of that, we have Shift V. That's our shortcut command on our keyboard. So if I were to hold Shift and hit V, it brings up our Make Preview. Or if I come under Tools, grab Viewport, Create Preview Animation, the same box comes up. So let's quickly go over some of these settings. We have our preview range. Do we want to do the active time segment? So whatever our keys or whatever frames we have in our animation file, like right now we have 0 through 100, that is our active frame range. If I have, for example, let's cancel this so I can change this. If I turn my length to 200, I can see I have 0 to 200 in my timeline. And then I go back to Tools, grab Viewport, Create Preview Animation, then my active time segment is 0 to 200. Or if I want to do a custom range, I can choose to render every frame, or in my playback frames per second, the percentage of output. So by default, I believe it's 50. And if we take a look in the renderer, I can see that my output size is HDTV, and I had chosen 1280 by 720. So if I go back to my preview, you can see that right now I have 50% of that. I can change that to 100. And this is the resolution that my renderer was set up at. Now the visual style, I can choose realistic, or I can choose anything in between. Maybe I want it to look kind of like acrylic. Let's take a look. See what that does. I can choose what I want to display and what I don't want to display. I can choose save frames, frame numbers, camera view name, which my save frames would have an area that anything outside of that would not be rendered. Visual style, camera view, if I want to use multi-pass camera effect. And a lot of these we've talked about, but if you want to play around with them, then I would invite you to do that. The output, if we want it to be an AVI, we can click on AVI, and then this is the compression that we want. By default, I believe it uses Intel IWUV, but we can choose it to, or change it to Microsoft Video, and we see our compression quality is 75% by default. And right now it's creating a keyframe every 15 frames. So we can configure that if we want. We're just going to go click OK. And then if I want to create my own type of file and save it somewhere, then I can go Custom File, name it what I want. We have several different outputs that we can do. Let's just stick with an MOV. We'll click Save. And then I do have an animation that's playing, and when we preview it, we'll be able to see that. So I'm just going to go ahead and click Create. And we can see the preview animation being created. Now my animation stops at 100, but since we took our keyframes to 200 and we told it to render the active time segment, it's going to create keys for those 100 to 200, even though we don't have anything going on. Once it gets done creating it, it will bring up a file, and that's on my other screen. So let me bring that over here. A file with that animation that it created. And there are some times when our renderer is going to take too long, and so we can use this preview to help us get an idea of what it's going to look like. And we saw that, what was it? Ink. The visual style acrylic. So maybe if we change that to something else, we can see a different style. Let's maybe choose colored pencil, and we'll create. Now we can see the overlay that's over there, the colored pencil style. Now this isn't meant to take the place of your renderer, and it's not going to be as powerful as your renderer, but it can render a little bit quicker in a lot of cases. So again, we're just waiting for that to finish, and we'll be able to see our preview. Almost done. And there. So then we can see our preview of the animation that we created. So this is just a quick little video of a neat little tool called Preview Animation. And that's it.